G'day there guys, welcome back in my shed. I'm BC. A bit of a follow on from the last video where I couldn't get the cut-off wheel to operate properly, and look, fall on sword, I suppose when I take the wheels out of the box I should read the label on the wheel and not the label on the box, but how much do you check? I had a warehouse where I was handling thousands of individual parts, and we just did not stop and check the part numbers on the item to match the box. We matched the box to the invoice because that's financial, but it's only one in every couple of thousand where they've been correctly packaged. They usually go off the packaging house as well. I can understand it. The Chinese alphabet is just so foreign to ours. I suppose the guys doing the packaging wouldn't have any bloody idea what's on there. But no excuse for either of us. I put a diamond wheel up there. It worked exactly as expected. Cut off a 8mm cutter, I think it was, in about a minute. And nice and cool operation. No vibration chatter, none of the nasties that you don't want. So now I've got a Sutton microfine carbide end mill up there for gulleting. I'm going to trial that same cut-off wheel for gulleting. I also have at my disposal a couple of wheels I've had in the library for some time. One is a 125mm saucer wheel of 180 grit of Flying Swan brand. I've got no idea. And this one is a resin craft, and it's a 45-degree cup wheel, and I've got no figure, no abrasive grit or whatever. So I've got two other wheels to do a bit of gulleting with. That is about what you normally see a gulleting done with, around a 45-degree cup wheel. And you can see that this wheel is slightly worn on the periphery there, so I think that's what it's been used for. So as well as those wheels, if all else fails, I've got a few old second-hand diamond wheels, but I've got a very good diamond wheel here from Norton Abrasives, and I acquired that against the customer order that never bloody eventuated. So it's a bit of new old stock, but yeah, there's another wheel I can fall back on. So this will be a little bit of interest. One thing I've got to say, the grinding carbide, I've only done a little bit of it, except with green silicon wheels. I've done a fair bit, miles in the past, but I've always been told that the cobalt generated by breaking up the tungsten carbide matrix is toxic to humans. And it most probably is, I don't dispute that, but I'll say the smell is bloody awful, and you get the bit of that into your gob and it doesn't want to get out. So in interest of public safety, I'll say, I've rigged up a bit of a Doctor Who trumpet here, all the way back to the dust extractor that I bought several months ago and never got around to installing. And if you hear a big noise in the background now, even louder than the fan in the roof, you'll know it's trying to keep me alive. Okay, I'll get set up to start gulleting. I'll have a practice first and I'll bring you in for a bit of a look. Okay, you can hear that monstrosity whirring away in the background. I'm just bringing you in to show you this part because you see the ease at which the diamond wheel is cutting the hard carbide. I don't know that I split the centre properly, but I've got to take this flute in a little bit further, then back around to the primary flute. I go down about 3 thou, 4. And there's none of the vibration I was getting before. Whew, it's like a Wessex bloody helicopter, that. I've bulked the most of it out. I'll bring you in for a close-up. Okay guys, you should be able to see, if I can get a focus in there, that a fair bit of the gulleting has been done. Now I'll use that 45-degree saucer wheel to try and get in a little bit closer and give it some more clearance behind the edge. Not very easy to focus in here. The light coming off that side of the cutter makes it a bit difficult. I'll bring you back when I'm doing a bit more. Okay guys, I'm going to try and take the back off this last and put the right glasses on. I hope that turbocharger in the background isn't annoying people too much. Okay, we're coming back to our primary or our first cutting edge. I'll lift the grinder up substantially and I'll show you that later on. And I just pass under the wheel, making sure I won't make a bloody fool of myself. Hold the cutter against the indexing finger, just touch it soft. I'm just trying to match it in properly with the original gulleting put in there by the cut-off wheel. Don't want to go any further if I can avoid it. A little bit further. And another touch more. And back around to where we started. Okay, this is where I zoom you out and show you the elements of what we've just done. That's the aspect on the machine. Don't need this one. Now, I won't turn that bloody fan off. I know staying alive is an all-important thing, but it can be bloody annoying at times. Okay, up here at the operating dial up the top, I've put a felt pen mark. I don't have any Sharpies, I've only got felt pens. What's mine called? Mine's called an Art Liner 70, xylene free. I ground the first relief through to the root of the gullet and I marked the dial. Now, I back the feed off until the cutter can pass through the next tooth without touching. And then I come forward to take the slack out of the wheel and gradually bring it down till I come up to that same mark. I'm damn sure that my stink extractor is working because there's no swarf, no dust all over it like there would have been in the past. And actually, now that I've done that little bit, I should be able to swing it over and give you a Captain Cook. Sit there. Okay, that's not a bad look. There I went. Okay. If you can see, just there is the original gullet with the cut-off wheel, and that's what I've just relieved using this wheel. And I could go a little bit further in there if I wanted to. I haven't quite taken this tertiary leaf down to the level of the gullet. And it's finished up with quite an interesting centre. That's the long tooth there that goes past centre. Now I'll put the cut-off wheel back in and I'll come in and relieve there to get rid of that little pip in the middle. And relieve it a little further in there, but leave that one which is the primary or the main lead. So yes, I'm putting in an extra couple of processes on this because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure that by the time I finish up grinding the primaries, and this clearance here or this cut here is required, so you've got somewhere for the secondary clearance wheel to run out. If you don't have that, you finish up with a great big wasted section sticking up at the back of the land. Okay, nothing now. Well guys, that's all you're going to get out of me for the moment. I'm satisfied now that I can do the job on larger cutters where I can actually see what I'm doing. If I find out anything interesting with the next couple of operations, I'll let you know, but it's only primary and secondary relief. It's all shit you've seen before, but at least now I've got the operations down to the point where I'm sure I could draw some diagrams on the wall and give you an abrasive machining lesson on doing the end of end mills, including gashing. It's a little bit hard to get your head around in geometry if you haven't done it before, and you wonder why people have got wear marks on the back of abrasive wheels. Well, that's what they use for gulleting the cutter. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next vid.